It's before the courts, and that's all I can say right now.
A tight-lipped Toronto mayor says he won't comment and he won't resign after Toronto police say they have recovered a video at the center of a crack cocaine scandal. Our next guest has been at the heart of this story since it first started making headlines back in May. The Toronto Star's Robin Doolittle is one of 3 reporters who say they have viewed the video in question, and she joins us once again in studio. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling today?
It's a great day. It looks like the people of Toronto are going to get a chance to see the video that Kevin Donovan and I saw almost 6 months ago.
When you heard Bill Blair, the Toronto police chief, say that this digital file was in their possession, what ran through your head?
I mean, obviously it was a really exciting moment. I had no idea what he was going to say. I did get a tip shortly before the press conference that I would find it extremely interesting. It was a complete surprise. We had no idea. It's fascinating and wonderful. Journalism has been on trial throughout this entire episode. The mayor and his brother have been calling the Toronto Star liars, saying that the media is out to get him, not focusing on his own actions, and our job to report on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, a union actually put out a release supporting you guys, saying our members have been called liars and frauds and have been much abused in public. That's for the Southern Ontario News Media Guild. So what was the worst for you? What was the lowest point during all of this?
I think it was incredibly frustrating when it looked like a large portion of the public had real doubts about the Star story. I guess that's fair to say. This is something that we've been pursuing for a year and a half, pursuing aggressively and diligently, and trying to be open and transparent about our practices, what we know, what we don't know. And I really think it's an excellent day for journalism.
And so you were there earlier this afternoon. We're looking at the footage of Rob Ford coming out of his office saying, "There's no reason for me to resign." Mm-hmm. What do you make of that?
Oh, it was an incredible moment. You know, there was dozens and dozens of reporters all pressed up against the glass, and then we saw him emerge from his office and this flash of cameras that you'd never seen anything like that before. And he says, "I can't comment. I can't defend myself on this video issue because," and I think a lot of people thought he was going to say, "because it's true." But he said, "because it's before the courts, and that's all I have to say. I'm going to continue going back to being mayor. I'm going to answer phone calls. I'm going to save the taxpayers' money." I mean, the fact that he didn't even offer any sort of response to the allegations, just that he can't comment, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I want to ask you, too, because you've been following Rob Ford even before all of this, right? So when he says, "I'm going to do what the people of Toronto elected me to do, and I'm going to keep saving taxpayers' money, and I'm going to run a great government that I've done for the last 3 years," is exactly what he said. What is his track record as mayor? Is he successful in saving taxpayers' money?
I mean, I think that's sort of besides the point at the moment. This is, the Toronto Star has been investigating this mayor for a year and a half. This is the man who runs the 4th largest city in North America, one of the largest governments in Canada. He's responsible for something like a $9 billion budget. His activities outside of City Hall, according to his staff, are impacting his job. We now have the chief of police saying that they have a video of the mayor that apparently shows him smoking crack cocaine. This is a matter of huge public interest, and it obviously, to me, impacts his ability to do his job and be mayor. I think it hurts his credibility. A lot of several city councilors are calling for him to resign. At the very least, it warrants more comment from him. And I don't know how, I think a lot of people are saying they don't know how he can be effective with this cloud hanging over him.
Okay, and can you remind us again, what did you see in that video when you saw it earlier this year?
So it was almost 6 months ago now. Mm-hmm. Kevin Donovan and I viewed footage. It was about a minute and a half long on an iPhone. The mayor is sitting about 5 to 7 feet away from the person shooting the video, and he's smoking out of what looks like a crack pipe, and he's making racist and homophobic slurs. And it seems very impaired.
So the police chief said that that footage, or that digital file that they have, isn't enough to press charges. Right. That's pretty interesting for anyone who thinks that, if there's footage of you doing something illegal, then that could lead to charges.
Well, the Star's been very upfront all along that and as Ford's own lawyer said, you don't know what he's smoking. He's smoking out of what looks like a crack pipe. So he's holding a glass tube and smoking something out of it. We don't know what's in it. We do know that he's smoking something that looks like crack and that he is apparently impaired. We know those two things. So I'm assuming with the police it's a similar dilemma.
When it comes to unanswered questions, Robin, what do you think the mayor still needs to address? What are the outstanding questions here for him?
Well, I mean, if someone accused me of smoking crack cocaine, I would have a ready answer and denial of it. I wouldn't have to think about it. It wouldn't matter if it was before the courts. I would respond to it. So I think he needs to say something about what is in this video. The chief of police says he believes it's Rob Ford in the video. So what is he doing in this video? And the chief of police says the video appears as the media, the Star and Gawker, reported it. So we talked about him saying homophobic and racist slurs. We talked about him appearing impaired and slurring his words. He needs to explain that to people, give some sort of window into what's going through his mind, as opposed to, I just can't talk about it and I'm going to continue on as if nothing's happening.
I know that you've been at the center of this scandal, at least, and you've also been writing a book on this whole experience. Where do you see this going? I mean, some people have been saying to me today, I wouldn't be surprised if he's reelected in 2015.
Right. And I mean, the Toronto Star, our motive is just to get this information out there, put it to the voters, put it to the people in the city to understand, to be informed about what's happening and the people that are running the city. However, whatever they want to do on election day with their ballots is their decision. What's next? Who knows? I mean, this story gets crazier and crazier. Before the video announcement came out, we were all going through hundreds of pages of documents being released in connection to the Sandro Lisey case, Lisey being a close friend of Ford's. There is incredible information within those pages where former staff members of Ford are talking about they believe that he uses drugs, they believe that Lisey might be supplying the mayor with marijuana and cocaine. That's not been proven in court, but it's in this police document. Another batch of these documents is yet to be released. The police say they're still continuing their investigation. Who knows what happens?
I know, and it's all unfolding on Twitter. I know you're getting a lot of tweets today. What's the general consensus from people tweeting you?
I think a lot of people are saying that they really appreciate the work that the Toronto Star has been doing. A lot of thanks, and you know, we're appreciative of their support. And I just want to encourage everybody, if you go out and buy a newspaper, go to get a newspaper subscription. This kind of journalism is incredibly important, and yeah, it's a great day to be a reporter at the Toronto Star.
Well, it's great to speak with you, Robin. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Toronto Star's Robin Doolittle joining us here live in studio.